Victor, you watched the start from the bench and then became heavily involved. Overall, did that feel like a really confident and comfortable performance?
Yeah, I think, of course, the result shows that, but I think, yeah, they're a very good side. They're very strong and good in the air, so it was always going to be a battle there. And, yeah, they created some okay chances, but I think overall we defended really well. And then, of course, when we scored 3 goals, it's a good result.
You were able to get control early and you restricted Sunderland to very few opportunities. Was that the difference between this game and the first game between the two sides?
Yeah, I think I wasn't involved in the first one, so I didn't really have the feeling from that game. I watched it, obviously, and there I think they were very effective in their chances, and yeah, we didn't maybe defend well in the crucial moments, but yeah, we did today.
And in terms of the performance all round today, a lot of the players coming off the bench and making a big impact like yourself as well, does that just show the value of what's been built here?
Yeah, I think we've showed that throughout the season. I think a lot of players have come from the bench and done the impact, so yeah, I think with so many games we have and so many competitions, I think it's very, very good sign, and yeah, we just need to keep it going like that.
You touched on being so many games. You've had a really busy week already. There's another round of midweek fixtures as well, but confidence must be really high amongst the group.
Yeah, of course, we had some great results recently, but we know it's always tough, and you always have to be on top in every aspect to win games, especially in the Premier League. So yeah, we just have to take care of our bodies and prepare for the next one.
Nice to play this on a Saturday and watch the game on Sunday.
Yeah, it's all right.
Good man, well done.
Yeah, thank you.
Well done indeed. Yes, all the squad, as we've mentioned, playing a part. How pleased were you for him to come off the bench and get?
We always pleased for a striker, especially a striker like Victor Gyoekeres, who's coming into Arsenal as a striker that we so-called needed. With getting so much, I'd say, criticism for maybe his performances up to this point, but he's scored goals. He's come off the bench, he's scored goals. He's made no fuss about it. He's just come and tried to do his job. You know, he's getting a lot of, like I say, a lot of criticism. But again, if he can get himself in the box in games like this and finish like this and finish games off for us coming off the bench, then he'll have done his job for us. You know, because again, I think that he's very fortunate here because he slips and the defender should be at least waiting. When you're in the box, the defender should be, if you have a poor touch, the defender should be there getting ready to, there's the touch there where he's had to, it's a bad touch. The defender doesn't do any react, and that's, you know, he punishes the defender for that because he should be doing better, but he's in there to score and he's done it.
And that's all you can do in his situation as a goal scorer.
Yeah, when you have a situation like this, when it's a bad defending, a bad judgment from the defender, you take advantage, you score. And this is exactly what he needs as a striker, scoring goals. He's the goal scorer for Arsenal in the Premier League with 8 goals. Huge boost of confidence with these 2 goals, and you know, as a striker perspective, we're happy for him because this is what he needs to do, especially coming from the bench. Here, in that goal specifically, I think Trossard made the whole thing going on because he first reading the game where the ball is going to fall, intercepting the pass forward, and then, of course, a bit of bad defending, but it doesn't matter. Yeah. The ball is in the back of the net. It's a goal.
Absolutely. Now, of course, they settled it on the break. First question is, Wrighty, if you were Gabriel Martinelli here, you're passing, aren't you?
You know, the thing is, you know what, when you see what Gabby does here, he does brilliantly here with his pace and his strength, and he's got through. And I think that he has to pass it in the end because the defender's too close. It's all caught up amongst his feet.
So the answer's yes.
So yeah. In this instance, you probably pass it because you've messed up the touches. But I'm not, Dimitar, I'm not going through thinking of passing this to Gyoekeres. It's only because the defender's caught me and it gets caught in his legs, and you just want to make sure you finish it. So there, you have to pass it.
But if there are just 2 of them, then is he going to pass the ball or no?
No. If it's just 2 of them, absolutely no way he's going to pass the ball. But in the end, that's what we need to do. You need to finish the game, you need to finish it comfortably, and that's what I was saying at half-time. Arsenal need to finish games quicker. And
psychologically, that's important, because as you say, they've had the Wolves game and others at home where they haven't done that.
Well, the reason why it's important as well is because then you can maybe rest some people. People can relax, the stadium can start feeling a little bit more relaxed about something, because I've been there a few times when it gets like that and you can feel it, and it gets onto the pitch, then you start seeing little mistakes. So the sooner you can do that after half-time, you nick a couple of those goals, Steve, that everyone can relax.
And on that subject, the actual timing of Zuba Mendy's first goal just before half-time was important in that sense as well, Berber.
I think that was the most important goal of the game, the first one, actually. Yeah. And if we look the goal closely, I think, again, Trossard is on the ball, right?
Yes.
And he's just passing the ball with intent for the other person to shoot it.
Straight away.
Straight away.
Yeah.
Just, here we go. Don't make any extra touch. I give it to you exactly, and you need to shoot it straight away.
Yeah.
And he reads the situation really well. We can argue maybe the goalkeeper is not in the best position possible, but we cannot take anything away from that shot and the goal.
You make a great point about the pace of the ball to him, because then the defender who's in the way, he kind of bends it almost round him, so the goalie sees it then. So that's why, you know, it's going in off the post. And to be fair, it's a great strike. And in that instance, Steve, all you want to do and what you say to me is hit the target, try and hit the target.
OK, so a good day all round for Arsenal, as I say there.
Rest of the action from England and the Premier League. A couple of live games tomorrow. There are 7 matches today. We've now had 6 of them in the books. Most significantly in terms of the league title race, Arsenal completing that 3-0 victory over Sunderland just a few moments ago. Tim Howard, what do you make of the Gunners today?
Well, sort of what I made of them all season. I think this has been so balanced in the way they've gone about it, and because they've been at the top, they've been criticized for scoring too many own goals or scoring too many set pieces. The fact of the matter is they're the best team in all of English football, front to back, in transition, on set pieces, and now with the full squad healthy and available, or nearly healthy and available, I think you're seeing what's happening up front with Jesus coming on as a starter and sometimes coming on as a sub. Gyoekeres getting his 2 goals today from the substitute position. I just really like the balance and the depth of this team. And yes, maybe the rest of the league is underperforming, but Arsenal is not.
3 goals, 3 points. Not quite as easy as that may sound in terms of result, but an important win. Again, the first Premier League home win in 2026. They had what I call a jittery January where things didn't go well, lost to Manchester United. But this could be a huge year for Arsenal. They're in the 4 competitions. They've got the job done again today. What I would say is, I kind of feel, to Tim's point, as though this group of players think something special's happening here. So when you come off the bench as a sub, you've got 2 mindsets. One is a bit like, I should have been starting, so I'll go on. But they seem to get subs who make a difference in the game. The depth of squad we know is there, but the attitude and the sort of mental approach is also very important.
And is that born of being runners-up 3 years in a row and the disappointment that comes from that?
Yeah, and it's also born of people sitting around desks like us saying they bottled it in the past, they can't get a job done. Everybody who's making the most of their opportunity when they're given the shirt.
Robbie Mustoe.
I thought that was really impressive, actually, today. Really impressive, because we've seen Arsenal struggle a little bit to put teams away. I thought they pushed for a second goal right from the start of the second half. Really gave nothing to Sunderland, no encouragement defensively, absolutely rock solid. We see again the value of an incredible squad. I mean, the squad is so much better than all the other teams. It's kind of remarkable. When Martinelli can come on and do the business and Gyoekeres gets his goals, that's why you bring him into the club, to put teams away. I thought that could have been awkward today. I thought it looked at times before the goals started to come, it may be awkward. They're strong defensively, Sunderland, so the set-piece thing for Arsenal wasn't really a factor today. But they spread the goals around. They got goals from midfield. They got goals from their subs, from their strikers. Declan Rice kind of summed it up a little bit when you got when the picture went to him. He was fired up in that game in the second half to make sure they were at it, and I thought they were really at it today. That was a performance that it looked like champions.
And when you talk about the squad, I think the other important thing is when you know there's a fully fit squad and the manager's willing to make changes. Not that you rush through your work, but you almost know if we get to 60 minutes and I've not done it, I could get hooked here. Yeah. So you see players performing at a higher standard because of the competition.
OK, jittery January could be a legendary February. It's a great phrase, that. Someone ought to trademark it, really.
And let's just remind you, as if Wrighty needed it, just where they are at the moment. Look at this, 6 points clear with an opportunity to go 9 clear of City today into the FL Cup final, as I say, where they'll play City. They're in the 4th round of the FA Cup, where they're at home to League One Wigan. They're already comfortably into the Champions League round of 16, having topped the league phase, and we're the only team to win 8 out of 8. What point do you get really excited about where Arsenal are at the moment?
Well, you get excited because it seems to be consistent what they're doing. So you are excited for that, but we know, and everybody knows, it's not done. You know, and sometimes it's the way that you perform and the way you play. And I think the Leeds result was one that kind of steadied everything. But it's the way you play that makes people think like, yeah, we take the next game and we go again. Because when you look at all those games, it's brilliant. But at the moment, it's still got to be finished. It's still got to be finished off. And all you want to see now is the confidence in the games where they're just knocking off another game and another game. But it's brilliant what they've done up to this point. But it's still, we've not done nothing yet.
Well, you reached the cup final this week. I just want to ask you, because obviously, as everybody says, at the end of February, there's always an opportunity to win a trophy mid-season. For this group of players, while the healthy situation is at the top of the Premier League, how important is it they go on and win that final?
It's massive. I saw John Terry, my friend John Terry, saying about how much we're celebrating getting to the finals, which I thought was, from JT, it was very low blow, because for this Arsenal side, it means everything. To win this one and be the first one that you can win, I know it's going to be in March now instead of in February, it's massive. It's massive in respect of what they're doing, the momentum and what they can achieve and what they can go on to do. You know, it doesn't mean the same to City. Let's get that right. You know, you're looking at Pep's already saying things like, why does the final have to be down at Wembley? They don't even want to come down to Wembley to play a final. You know what I mean? So, you know, and you know, obviously talking about one of these players that can't play, because obviously it's not the same in respects of what that trophy means to the club for City to what it will mean for Arsenal. And that's why, you know, I was glad that they celebrate, because they've got to understand how important it is to win that one. That's the first one that this team need to win. Bukayo Saka was the only one in the squad when we won the FA Cup, and he didn't even play that day. It's turned right round. It's a whole new team, and this team needs to win something, and this is a great opportunity. Yeah, and on that theme, you've been in a dressing room full of winners and have won. But the first one, how important is it to get that taste?
It is. It's a massive, especially when you're chasing the Premier League title, and that extra boost of confidence when you win a trophy. It's like, all right, you know, we are here. Your first step is taken. We show that we're capable of winning a trophy. Let's go for the other one, or for the other one. So in their case, I think they're in a great situation. As we spoke with Wright before, it must be their season. Fingers crossed. I agree that nothing is yet settled, because it's a Premier League. Yeah. You have big team chasing you, so they need to be very careful and very consistent in their performance, because it happened before. Dropping points, the other team catching up to you. You need to stay strong in your head as a team, as an individual. And that's why it's also so important, going back to the injuries and stuff, to prepare yourself, to go to bed, to know what to eat, when to eat, to be ready for the really important stuff in your life, which now is football. And because when you win it, then you're going to smile and you're going to say yourself, it was worth it. Exactly. And you know the thing is that it's very important that they look at that and realise that this is it's brilliant where we are at this part of the season, but it's not something to rest on and say, oh, we've done this. Because they've done three seasons on the spin, they finished second. People are waiting to see how they finish this off, Steve. And if they don't finish it off and do well, then everything what people say about Arsenal, can't finish, haven't got the bottle, all that stuff, then it all comes to fruition again. They're able to start going with that narrative. And I think this team's strong enough to go through that, because that's what winning the Premier League's about. Dimi will know. You get to these places where you do doubt yourself. And we've seen that with a couple of results, but they're back again. They're back on it. They've had a reset, and they're going again. And now today's game again will be a tough one. And I also think that final will be, in a way, a major test. Yeah, also. Against them. Yeah. Because obviously there's going to be a winner. So whoever loses, if it's Arsenal, is going to test them in mental strength, because the season is still going strong. Yeah. And then it's going to be people doubting them as well. Yeah. So that's the crucial point, to know how to. If you win, of course, a great point. It's a great point Dimi makes there, because again, you know, that game is a way to put down a marker, because remember, we've got to play them again in April. We don't know what could be on that. Yeah. So it's a great game. Whatever people think about the cup, it's a great game to put down a marker for Arsenal, because they've got to beat City in a significant game. That one's a massive game, and then April will probably be a massive game as well.